I call to order this regular meeting of the Monument Town Council, February 21st, 2023. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Erickson, will you take roll, please?
Mayor LaKind,
Here?
Councilmember Romanella,
Here.
Councilmember King,
Here.
Councilmember Abbott,
Here.
Councilmember Kimple.
Here.
Okay, first up, oaths of office. Ms. Erickson.
Okay, so we'll do it just like last time. I'll just have you guys stand at your spot and raise up your mics and speak loudly into them. You'll touch them, little push, and once you see light on, then it's on. We'll do it together.
We're twins.
See? Okay. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Laura
Marco
Chronic,
Figurito.
Affirm that I will support
affirm that I
Affirm
will
support
support
the United States Constitution,
the United States Constitution,
the Colorado Constitution,
The Colorado Constitution,
and the Town of Monument Charter and ordinances,
and the Town of Monument
Charter and
and
its
ordinances,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will
and
faithfully perform the duties
of the office of council member
of the
office of council member
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The reason is the applicant is the client or just this?
I'm just saying.
Fun.
Yeah. So for the first time in a while, we have a full council.
A short meeting.
Huh?
Yippee skippy. Breaking it easy.
Oh, sure. No, take all the photos you'd like.
That's sure.
Oh. Okay, perfect.
Oh, that's fun. Guess we're all losers. We didn't get pictures taken.
All my kids would
Okay. Before us, we have an agenda and a consent agenda. Any modifications to the agenda?
I would like to make a motion to remove item 5 due to applicant withdrawal.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have motion and a second. Ms. Erickson.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Councilmember Kimple,
Yes.
Mayor LaKind,
Yes.
Councilmember Frito,
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott,
Yes.
Councilmember Chronic,
Yes.
Councilmember Romanella.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes 7-0. Wow. We're just,
We're going to dinner.
we're going, you all two are the luckiest for first meeting. Okay, next up is number 7, employee vacation. Mike Foreman.
All right, we got to this quickly. So the previous council and Mayor Mitch LaCon, actually Mayor Mitch LaCon, brought this up, and to grant the Town of Monument employees an additional 80 hours of vacation leave to each employee. So we took a look at this, senior staff took a look at this, and we had 4 options that we're going to give to you, and a suggestion for option number 4. One is to grant additional 80 hours vacation leave to each employee. The pros, it's easy to administer, fair and equitable to employees. The cons is some employees are already carrying a maximum allowable hours of vacation. If employees separate, we must pay vacation hours out upon exit, need to maintain minimum staffing levels, and need to stagger vacation requests to maintain operations. Lack of redundancy means absences affect productivity. Number 2 is grant an additional 80 hours administrative leave to each required depletion by the end of the year. Pros, fair and equitable. The cons, need to maintain minimum staffing levels, would need to stagger leave requests to maintain operations, and lack of redundancy means absences affect productivity. 3, close town hall for 2 consecutive weeks. This is easy to administer, fair and equitable to employees. The cons, it's not feasible due to public safety and health concerns. Water and police department employees are essential, must be here, and it's also poor customer service to our customers. Number 4 is what we suggest. It's close town hall intermittently, 10 separate 8-hour days. Provide water and police department employees with the 80 hours of admin time as described in option 2. The pros, it's fair and equitable, would not have to pay out if employees separates, not constrained by vacation hour limits, non-essential employees would be absent concurrently, so productivity would remain high. Customer service would not be impacted for extended periods of time. The cons, water and police department employees would be offered a different option than the rest of the staff. So our suggestion is option number 4, to close town hall intermittently, 10 separate 8-hour days during the summer. This would also help our employees with their vacation schedules and spending more time with their family, which I think was your reason for giving this out. So, and let me tell you, Mayor and Council, the employees really appreciate this. We understand, everybody understands what they went through during the months of November and December. And for you to make this kind of offer to their employees, they really appreciate this.
Oh, good. I'm glad that they like it. Do we save any money on the air conditioning if you close up every? Yeah, I mean, that would be an unintended benefit. Right?
Unintended consequence. Yes, electricity costs would go down.
Would go down, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm all for you executing this, and this, the council is in agreement that Mike, being the town manager, execute this with his senior leadership the way you doled it out here.
I concur.
Yes, sure.
Sorry. My only concern is what he mentioned earlier is that some town employees are carrying a lot of leave time. So if we can, and having been in that situation, it's not fun. So if there's anything that the council can do to encourage and support town employees taking that leave time, because it's earned. So
Oh, yeah,
please
definitely.
take it. Okay.
We do that, definitely. And also I'd like to appreciate senior staff that helped me, and especially with this idea. This was mainly Laura Hogan's idea. She really came up with this, and we really appreciate the fact that she put all this together for us. So thanks to Laura Hogan.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay. We'll move on to public comment. Individuals attending in person may raise their hand to indicate their desire to comment. Individuals attending via Teams may raise their hand digitally to comment via connected devices. Please lower your hand when finished with your comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Is there anybody here who would like to make a comment?
Mayor LaKine, before we move on, can we go back and approve the consent agenda as modified?
I
Oh,
move,
that's a good one.
I move to approve the consent agenda as modified.
I second.
We have a motion and a second, and apparently was so excited at the short agenda that please.
Councilmember Farito,
I think, Ken had, okay, yes.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Councilmember Kimple,
No, with the meeting minutes for December 5, 13, 16, and 28, I disagree with that. Some answers, no.
Okay.
Councilmember Romanella,
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott,
Yes.
Mayor LaKind,
Yes.
Councilmember Chronic.
Yes.
Mayor,
That
can I,
motion passed 6-1.
can I interrupt one more time? We got one more discussion item. Sheila Booth wanted to discuss the, where we are with Jacobs Engineering.
It's not on the agenda.
It's a
Just
discussion.
passed the modified agenda twice.
You can add it.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I'll be quick. So as you know, we had Jacobs interim while we hired staff. We have staff. So what we are doing is transitioning Jacobs out. So they're finishing some of the projects, turning them over to our new staff. So we will retain them for our engineering review, but for planning, you probably won't see Jacobs here any longer. It'll just be planning staff doing that. I have one other item if I could ask real quick. Also, we would like to do a Planning 101 training with the council and the Planning Commission. I would like to get your feedback on whether you'd like to do a Saturday 2 to 4 hour training or spread it out for night meetings, 1 hour once a month, 2 hours once a month. What are your ideas? What are your thoughts on Planning 101 training?
I will let the council bring up how they would, best work out for them.
I like the idea of one go at it, but that's just me. But
Like on a weekend?
on a Saturday, rip the Band-Aid off and that way you get more discussion, I think. But that's just,
And this would be with joint, the full planning commission and the full council.
Yes. We presented at our last month, we talked about as a workshop with them, coming together with you. We told them that was what we were going to present to you was either the 1-day option versus the separate option. So I'll be taking this back to them, whatever we decide, and we'll be scheduling for that.
I would go for the 1-day option as well, just so that we're not rehashing things in every meeting. Plus, I also believe that there should be periodic joint meetings with the planning commission.
I like the idea of a full, like, or a half day weekend, but can you like throw 2 different dates out there so we can choose what's better?
Yes,
Some of us have teens. Thank you.
yes, we can.
And I'm with the consensus.
Or is it possible to, is there anything not coming up on the planning commission's slate at meetings? Because I know sometimes when they don't have anything to go over, they just cancel the meeting. Maybe have it on that day.
We actually do not have anything on the March meeting. We do April, and I believe we do May. So I don't know if we can turn it around that quickly. It would be March 8th, if yours is March 6th. I don't know if we can turn it around that quickly, but.
I'll be out of town, but you guys can go ahead without it.
It's a
Well,
one item agenda. We could consider that too. That might be a short one.
because you have some travel constraints, business constraints.
The next 2 months are hell for me, but it's tax season. I'm an investment advisor and it's tax season, but a one-time deal would work if I could fit it in. But if we could try to keep it to 2 to 3 hours rather than 4, just make it real concise and not a lot of small talk, that'd be cool. Just saying.
We can just say the small talk till after Jim leaves.
Yeah,
All
all business.
right, all business. Okay, so it sounds like everybody is in agreement, one shot.
One shot, and I'll work with our trainers to come up with a couple of dates and then throw them back at both groups.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, now can we get to public comment? All right, is there anybody here who would like to make a public comment? None? Drew, anybody online? Wow, we are just cruising right along. next up is, what? Are we good? Okay. Next up is council authorization items. First is Arbor Day proclamation on April 3rd. Madeline?
We're just looking to see if we can add that to the agenda so we can do a proclamation for Arbor Day, excuse me, which allows us to keep our Tree City designation.
Sure. Anybody have any issue with that? Concern? All right. And then April 17th, this is another proclamation you want to add to the agenda, Ms. Erickson?
Yes, the El Paso County Department of Human Services would like to present a proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month
Okay.
for April 17th.
And then the same for Silver Key.
Yeah, that's just gonna be a presentation, not a proclamation.
Okay. I had a copy of the draft for the March 6th. It didn't look that busy, right, Mr. Foreman? Okay. Okay, any other comments or questions about those? All right. Next up is the town manager's report. Mr. Foreman.
Okay, as you see, we presented you with the town manager annual report. I can walk through it if you'd like me to. It's about 20 pages, or you can ask me questions if you'd like me to answer any questions that you saw in there, or if you want to get with me later on, we could go through it. So either one. That's, do what?
I said no walkthrough.
No walkthrough. No walk. This is our annual report that staff does. Madeline puts this together along with senior staff, and it's something that we've done every year. You like it?
Yeah, it's a really good report.
And then we'll have a we'll have another one in 6 months. And crime stats, would y'all like to have those more than we're giving you now? I got with our interim chief Johnson, and he's going to be coming up with some crime stats from El Paso County for some of our surrounding county, because we have a lot of crime stats in our county, not just in our municipality. And so the mayor suggested that we probably need to provide those crime stats, not just for our town, but also for the surrounding opportunities that we have in the county. Sound good?
Okay. Next up is town council comments. Is there anybody on the council that would like to make a comment?
I have one. So we spent a little bit of time up at the Capitol, Mitch and I and Senna and Mike. Sorry, Mike. And one of the things that came out of there, and they had kind of asked us to talk to our constituents about, is there is an agenda from the current governor that wants to increase multifamily development, high density multifamily development. And the biggest problem with this is that they want to change the zoning in local municipalities and take away our local control. So they would supersede the zoning in pretty much every municipality. And we believe in local control. We believe that that they would be overstepping their bounds. But in order to push back, we need participation from the community, and we need to get people involved and write their representatives. Our former mayor, Don Wilson, is our House representative, so I'm sure he would appreciate any kind of emails and contact that you can give to him so he can go to the Capitol and fight for us, because he's also opposed to that. So it's really important that we maintain our control, and I hope that people will get involved and push back.
Is there a way that we can get our county commissioners to make a former El Paso County proclamation against such a thing and have that as a stance as well?
They had some people at the CML event, although they were sort of quiet. On the Friday after the meeting that took place with the lobbyists, we all voted. There was a representative from almost all, well, not all, a lot of municipalities, certainly not 64 counties were represented, and certainly not every town and city was represented. But the consensus was, even from municipalities that you wouldn't think was,
No way.
they all voted against, they wanted the lobbyists for CML to oppose the several measures that you would not expect them to. So the idea of losing local control, which we just literally got a month ago, these other towns and cities that have had home rule for quite some time have said, no, you're not taking it from us. And there's more issues that are coming up. So, yeah.
Thank you for that input.
Yeah. And since we're on that topic, thank you for bringing that up, and we're doing council comments. For those of you who are assigned to a board or a council outside of the scope of this, such as Pikes Peak Regional Building, Pikes Peak Area Council of Government, water stuff, on the month following your meetings, I would like probably during board comments for us to provide each other an update, right? And of course, the public, so they can hear what we have been going through outside of that. And so what Steve brought up was something that happens at the beginning of each legislative session, where we work with CML and obviously our fellow municipal elected people to look at the bills that are coming down. And we actually meet every Monday to hear what's passing, what's being dropped from the committees up in Denver. And we oppose or we monitor, but yeah, we'll start giving you reports on some of those key issues that we're following along. There's some interesting water ones too. Okay, anybody else who's got a comment?
Yes, please. And to Steve's point, is there any way that we can develop some kind of a template or a direction for the residents as to, who to write to, what to say, what the subject should be, so that everybody is kind of speaking on the same subject and to
And
the same people?
Post it to the,
I would be happy to put something together for that, because this obviously is an important issue for me. So.
Is there
And we
anything
would-
on the is there anything on the website today that points to our representatives up in Denver, like Senator Lundin, Representative Wilson?
Madeline, I don't think there is. There used to be. We can make sure it's on there. After today, we'll make sure it's on there.
Okay. All right. Any other council members that have anything they want to say?
Yeah. Yes. Well, a short time ago, there was a determination, well, there's ordinance put in place about signage. And then that was postponed because of the confusion of everything. And now that it's all settled and the elections and stuff's over, I think we need to discuss that one more again and make sure, because now we're coming into, signs are posted for the election for the down in El Paso County and stuff. They're around the neighborhood. But we're getting into that point of the springtime, so people are starting to put signs up for various things once again. I think we need to readdress that to make sure that that's enforced and we can go forward and get used to that before we get into the next election season.
I would suggest that we, so that we don't have to worry about making decisions and anything like that, we can do a workshop. We invite our attorney to run that so that we can look at the implications, have it refreshed, that came down from the Supreme Court a few years ago, and look at the ordinance that we tabled. We pushed it aside for the elections and come up with something that is fair to everybody. Everybody agree with the workshop? Okay.
Also, the upcoming push for businesses, residents, and the town to apply for the reduced water usage that the state has, that fund. They have a several $1 million set aside initially. Applications, I'm not sure if they're ready to be entered online, but I know it starts in July.
Okay.
Let's be the first ones out the gate to apply to get those funding where they'll come in even at the residence areas and for a small amount of grass area, they'll rip that out cost free and replace it with Xeriscape and some other benefits.
Cool.
So
Okay,
Definitely.
okay. Any other council comments? Okay. Normally I wouldn't do this, but since you had your hand up and you've been patient, a little out of order.
Dan DeBoo, President of the Homeowners Association for Village Center Estates. On this high-density housing issue, I would like to get something out to our residents, so I concur that we would like something in a format that I can send out to our management company as well as to all of our residents. I just wanted to go on the record to say, please send something out, and I look forward to getting something in the Monument City, Town of Monument website. Is that where it's going to be? Okay.
Yeah, we can do that. Thank you. Village Center Estates.
2, 1.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
They're all lined up along with the development. Okay, next up, we have executive session. Is this the exact language? Okay. Mr. King, would you like to read us into executive session?
Sure. Executive session pursuant to section 24-6-402 4B CRS for a conference with the interim town attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions relating to the report of investigation findings dated December 28th, 2022.
And will we be adjourning directly after that?
I don't anticipate any action needed after that.
Okay, and so we will be adjourning directly after the executive session.
So we need that to be a motion, second vote.
Yeah,
Isn't that what he just,
yeah, he made a motion.
I second.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, who is the motion?
Mr. King,
To move into executive session with adjourning the meeting immediately following.
right? And are
Okay,
we staying
Councilmember-
here?
Yes.
Councilmember Romanello,
Yes.
Councilmember King,
Yes.
Councilmember Kimple,
yes.
Mayor LaKind,
Yes?
Councilmember Chronic,
Yes.
Councilmember Abbott,
Yes.
Councilmember Dorito.
Yes.
Okay, we will clear the room and begin our executive session.